Okay, so we're going to look at solving quadratic equations of fractions. It's a question that a lot of people do find difficult because it's quite long. In exam papers, it can be broken up into two questions. So the part A might say something like simplify. So we'll just get a pen here, and it could say simplify 2 over 3x minus 1 minus 5 over x minus 3. So A could say simplify this. And B then could say, hence, using your answer or otherwise, solved two decimal places. So the question that we're actually going to do. So the way I'm going to do this question is it kind of incorporates A into it. So once you understand how to do the whole thing, A is quite simple. So what we're going to do is we are going to simplify the left hand side and just treat it as a single question first, because we should all know that if we have a fraction equals a fraction, we can cross multiply. Which makes life a lot easier for us. So if we simplify the left hand side to make it one singular fraction, we'll then end up with a fraction equals a fraction, therefore we can solve. So we'll start working on the left hand side. So we'll just write out the sum. So 2 over 3x minus 1 minus 5 on x minus 3. So to simplify it, we need a common denominator. So our common denominator is going to be, the denominator is made up of the bottom of a fraction. So our common denominator is going to be both denominators. Right, and now to fill in our top line. So we have to say we're going to put our 2 on top, okay? Because 2 is already there. So 3x minus 1 goes into our common denominator. So it goes in x minus 3 times. So really what you could do is like cover, so 3x minus 1, so cover the common denominator, and you'll be left with x minus 3. Then we put our minus, because that comes next, our 5, because that's what's on top. So we go x minus 3 into our common denominator. Well, that will go, if we cover x minus 3, that just leaves it with 3x minus 1. So now we can multiply out. You don't need to multiply the common denominator part at the moment. If you do, it's okay though. So we just do the top line for the minute. So we have 2x minus 6 minus 15x plus 5 equals 3x minus 1 on x minus 3. So we just simplify it. So we'll have minus 13x minus 1 all over 3x minus 1 on x minus 3. So that's it simplified. That's as far as we can go. I know we could obviously multiply out the bottom line, but you don't need to do that for the moment. If you do, it's okay. So that was the part A I was talking about. And then they'll say, hence or otherwise using your answer. Hence using your answer or otherwise solve the equation to two decimal places. So at this stage we know this is our left hand side, and we know that our left hand side actually now is minus 13x minus 1 all over 3x minus 1 on x minus 3. So instead of writing that left hand side, we can just leave it as the simplified version, and we're trying to solve it equals 2 over 3. So when we come back down here, we're now letting this equal to, just get rid of that yellow box, 2 over 3. So this is the solving part. So obviously if it says solve, we know we want an answer for x. But now we have a fraction equals a fraction. So as we said earlier on in the video, a fraction equals a fraction means we can cross multiply. Meaning the 3 can come up, so we can get rid of that divisor, it can come up and multiply over here. And we can get rid of this divisor by bringing it up and multiplying there. So we'll get rid of the fraction altogether. So we're going to have 3 on minus 13x minus 1 equals 2 on 3x minus 1 on x minus 3. So we'll have minus 39x minus 3 is equal to 2. Multiply out these two brackets first, and then we'll multiply the 2 in by them. So we'll have 3x on x minus 3 minus 1 on x minus 3. So that gives minus 39x minus 3 equals, so keep your 2 on the outside just for the minute. You could have obviously multiplied the 2 in and had 6x minus 2 on x minus 3, whichever you prefer. So this will give us 3x squared minus 9x minus x plus 3. So minus 39x minus 3 equals, so we could multiply in our 2 now if you wanted. So we'll have 6x squared minus 18x minus 2x plus 6. So minus 39x minus 3 equals 6x squared minus 20x plus 6. You can see that we're going to end up having an x squared x in a number. You know you're solving, so you know you have to let it equal to 0. So I would bring over everything to one side and let it equal 0. I'm going to bring these across and let it equal 0, because then my x squared is still positive. So I'm going to have 6x squared minus 20x plus 6 plus 39x plus 3. And the whole thing is equal to 0. So instead of having my equal 0 on the left hand side, I'll just write it over here. It's the exact same thing. So we have 6x squared, so plus 19x plus 9 equals 0. So I have my x squared x my number. So I'm thinking my minus b formula or open my brackets. Is there anything I can divide across by to make it easier myself? No, because nothing will go into 19x, only 19, and 19 won't go into 6 or 9. So I know straight away to solve this, I'm going to have to use my minus b formula. So I have to define what my a value is. So it's 6, because it's the number in front of the x squared. What my b value is, which is 19, and what my c value is 9. So your log tables will have your formula. The fact that it said 2 decimal places, I knew in my head already that I was going to have to use my minus b formula anyway. So we'll fill into the formula. So you're going to have minus, every time you sub in a value, put in brackets, 19 plus or minus the square root of 19 squared minus 4 times 6 times 9 all over 2 times 6. So you're going to need your calculator for this. So you can put the whole lot into your calculator. So, or you can do it step by step. So I'm going to do it step by step. But by all means you can do it as one. So 361 minus 4 by 6 by 9. Just ensure to show your work. Like, make sure you show this part. So minus 216 all over 12. Minus 19 plus or minus, so 361 minus 216 is root 145 all over 12. So we're going to have minus 19 plus root 145 over 12. And we're going to have minus 19 minus root 145 over 12, because the fact that it had the plus and minus, your minus b formula has your plus and minus. So into our calculator we'll have minus 19 plus root 145 all over 12. Remember, they wanted to 2 decimal places, so I'll SD it, and that gives me minus 0.58 to 2 decimal places. Our letter was x, so that's x equals minus 0.58. Then we'll go back on our calculator and we'll change our plus to a minus, or you can type it all in again, and we'll have x equals minus 2.59. So we have solved that equation to 2 decimal places. So to quickly recap on how we did it, what we did was we simplified our left hand side first in order to get a fraction equals a fraction. So as I said, they might ask you that as an a part and then get you to solve as a b part. So we simplified our left hand side. Once we did that, so we had it done down here, we let it equal to the right hand side, which was a fraction equals a fraction. So we cross multiplied to get rid of the fraction, and we ended up getting an x squared x in number equals 0. Then we could have the option to either open our brackets or use our minus b formula, because it's x squared x equals 0, x squared x in a number even. The fact that they had told us to 2 decimal places, we knew it was going to be a minus b formula, so we solved